If you're watching this, if you've been experiencing pain, your pain is not going unnoticed. If you've been feeling like God has been silent in your tears, I want this to be a confirmation to you that God is about to do something so big in your life. God is about to change your life in ways where you cannot even imagine. God is about to do things where you can't comprehend how did this get done. If you've been feeling really off, if you've been feeling shaky, if you've been feeling weary, if you've been feeling weak, if you have been feeling like giving up, because not that you just started and you want to give up, but you've been in this thing for years, you've been pushing for months, you've been trying so hard, you've been trying to work things out, you've been trying to figure it out, you've been giving God all of you, you've been giving God all you have, you've been putting your all into everything that you feel like would accomplish your goals, you've been doing all you can, and you feel like you have gotten nowhere. If you've been feeling like that, if you feel like you've been focused, you've been locked in, and you still ain't getting nowhere, this video was for you. God has been monitoring you. He's been monitoring your progress, and though it may not seem like you have results on earth, hear me out, you got results in heaven. Your angels are watching as you work effortlessly, as you work tirelessly, as you work to continue to stay in the race, to compete for your destiny to be fulfilled on earth. And I don't know who needs to hear this. Doors are about to open on your behalf. Prayers are about to be answered on your behalf. God says there will be no more silence. There will be no more dark days. Long suffering was a fruit of the Spirit. That's why you had to go through some things. That's why people had to drop out of your life. That's why people never checked in on you, because God says that you're all I need. I don't need nobody else attached to you. I don't need you and your best friend to do this. God is saying you all I need. And if I'm all you need, then we can do this. God don't need for you to have a job to change your life. God don't need for you to have it all figured out. God says just you. You are all God needs in order for God to fulfill a miracle, in order for God to act out the story, to reenact the story He wrote over your life before you got here. So if you're watching this, you've been feeling like you're confused. The confusion is creeping in because you don't understand how you have worked so hard and you got little to show for it. God says when it doesn't make sense, He will make a way. Right in the midst of it will never happen for me, God says it'll happen. Right as the clock hits 12 o'clock and they say you ran out of time, God says I just renewed their timing. Right when the tears are rolling down your face, God is saying I'm doing it. Right when people are turning their backs on you, God turning you up. So if you're watching this, you don't know how it's going to happen. Keep swinging. Keep taking those steps. You'll be all right. If you're watching this, you're going to be all right. I know you don't have all the answers right now, and I know you can't make sense of what's going on in your life. I know it's confusing because every time you get up, you get knocked back down. Every time you take a step, you get pulled back. Every time you think things are going okay, it seems like you're starting over. Right in the midst of all of your accomplishments, it seems like things are being erased and taken away from your life. And I know it may not seem like you're learning much in this area of your life, but everything you need to know in this season will push you to becoming the person you need to be in the next. Some people just cannot come with you. You needed to know that some people aren't your friends. You needed to know that some people aren't a supportive system as you thought they were. A lot of the lessons that you're learning right now in life, it seems hard. It seems scary to face. But don't face them with fear. Because everything you're going through, God's going to pull you up. He's going to pull you out of the waters. But God told me to tell you something, that you went into this season of your life not knowing about a lot of stuff. Not knowing who people, not seeing people true as colors, not even knowing who you are. And so God wanted you to learn so much in this season. So much so that you never lack the knowledge you need for your next. If you're watching this video, you're in the right place. It may not seem like it, but at the right time. And you have to trust God. You made a way and you made it out because God was always walking with you. You're closer than you think you are, baby. You're closer to the new season than you think you are. You're closer to your life changing. You're closer to God coming through. You're closer to God performing a miracle. You're closer than you think you are. You want to know why you want to give up right now is because you don't see how close you are. You don't realize that the next step you take, you're stepping into your miracle. You don't realize the next step you take, you're stepping into your new beginning. You don't realize the next step you take, you stepping into your season of winning. You don't realize how close you are. That's why you want to give up. But if you can only see what God sees, if you can see it how God sees it, if you don't realize that you're closer to your destiny than you've ever been, I want you to realize that you've been fighting for this. I want you to understand something, that this thing cannot slip the grip of your hands. I want you to understand that you put in the time, you put in the prayer. I don't know who needs to hear this, but you gave up some things to become this version of yourself, and you're closer than you think you are. You just got to keep on walking, baby. You got to keep on going. Every step you take matters. I don't know who needs to hear this. You're at a point in your life. You're at a time in your life. You're at a season that every step you take is crucial. Because you're about 50 more steps away from your blessing. You're about 10 more steps away from your destiny being fulfilled. You're about 30 more steps away from your breakthrough. Every step you take, it is crucial. The enemy wants you to stop taking steps. But God told me to tell you that he's just getting started. Your life is about to go from glory to glory. The Bible says from strength to strength. But in my head, I see better to better. From great to greater. You had to live a life where you had less than so much. And it's affected how people treated you. It's affected what you can and cannot buy. It's affected how people talk to you. It affected how people loved you. But God says that you learned to love yourself when you didn't have the money to pay for people to love you. You learned to respect yourself when you couldn't pay for their respect. And God showed you who you are in your worst days, in your darkest hour.